Introduction and Project Overview. In this tutorial course, I'll be guiding you through rigging essentials in Maya 2018. We're going to explore the Maya's rigging section, how to use the Maya's rigging tools, constraints, and create character rig from scratch. Through this journey we'll learn the Maya starting from the very basics. How objects are structured, how to make connections, what are deformers, and much more. At the end, you will have the knowledge to rig a 3D character inside Maya 2018. So, let's begin. Before getting started, you need to already have some experience working with Maya, so we do expect a basic Maya knowledge. Viewport navigation and object manipulation should be familiar to you, as well as a basic conceptual understanding of the rigging process. Download resources. Hi there, it's time to get started. The first thing you have to do is to download the exercise files. Now, if you haven't done already, download them so we can move on. Lessons are divided into fundamental rigging, following with one practical project where a character rig is done from start to finish. To follow along with exercise files, from the menu bar go to File, Set Project. Navigate to the character_rig folder. Click Set. Outliner shows an hierarchical list of all objects in the scene in outline form. You can expand and collapse the display of branches in the hierarchy. It's one of two main scene management editors in Maya. If the outliner is missing from your scene, you can open it from Windows, Outliner. In Outliner you can rearrange an object with the middle mouse button. Deselect and press Ctrl+G. This creates an empty transform node called Null. If the outliner is docked, click and drag the panel into the viewport to close it. Maya's primary tools: W, Move tool, E, Rotate tool, R, Scale tool. As you work in Maya, most of your actions create nodes in the construction history of the objects you work on. At each point in your work, the current scene is the result of all the nodes you've created so far. A Maya scene can be heavy if there is a construction history for every object or control. For avoiding heavy scenes, we must make sure that every object's construction history is deleted. To delete construction history, select your object and click on Edit, Delete by Type, History. When you transform an object, Maya stores its position information in a transform node as the difference from its original 0 position. Select Modify, Freeze Transformations. Object now has a new default position. You can test this by moving the object and setting the values to 0 back and forth. If you know a little about multiplying matrices, you might recognize that all objects have their own universe, that they live in, and when you freeze transformations, you are really just multiplying matrices, so that the artists think it is zeroed out. In final rigs, we will want all animatable controls to be with zeroed translation and rotations, so the animator can easily restore a control to its default position. Now we will learn how to create a group and make a direct parent. Select your object and press Ctrl+G to group it. Everything parented under the group is known as children. The group itself is the parent. You can parent objects in the scene viewport. Select two objects or more and use the shortcut P. This is known as direct parenting. Every transform node has a pivot point. Hit the Insert key and you can toggle back and forth between the pivot point and the moving object. Note the cursor icon change. Pivot point of an object is where numbers from transform node are tracked to. How far the pivot point of the object is moved, rotated, or scaled from the origin. Select your object and press Ctrl+G to create a group. Rename the group to cube_L. Repeat the process and name the second group cube_R. Press Insert key and move the pivots so cube_L is located at the left side and cube_R to the right side of the cube. Check if they are rotating from a correct position. Group nodes are nothing but transform nodes that hold translate, rotate, and scale information. Since they are just empty transform nodes, they can be used as animatable nodes for the animator. This is 1990s style rigging. This is how animators used to do animations back then. The channel box is the primary, fastest, and most streamlined tool for editing object attributes. It lets you quickly change attribute values, set keys on keyable attributes, lock or unlock attributes, and create expressions on attributes. Select Modify, Edit Attribute, or in the Attribute Editor, Edit Attributes. Integer, a single integer value. Float, a single floating point value. Enum, a list of choices. Enum means enumerator. The layer editor contains tabs that let you display two different editors for working with different types of layers. Display layers are used to organize and manage objects in a scene, such as for setting their visibility and selectability. Select everything from the channel box, right-click and choose Lock and Hide Selected. While the channel box provides a more compact view of keyable attributes for animation, the Attribute Editor gives you full graphical controls to edit attributes rather than just text boxes. Shortcut for opening is Ctrl+A. You can also find a limit informations in the Attribute Editor. They're pretty self-explanatory when you get to them. However, let's limit the object translation in x-axis so it can't translate beyond positive and -1. Now we need to restore the object's translate attributes. As you remember from earlier, we used the lock and hide option for every attribute. Select Windows, General Editors, Channel Control. With the Channel Control Editor, you can manage multiple objects and their attributes simultaneously. When an attribute's name is in the keyable, the attribute appears in the channel box. When an attribute's name is in the non-keyable hidden column, the channel does not appear in the channel box. From the menu you can notice that there are a lot of hidden attributes for an object. Just remember the template attribute. We will be using that one in practical rigging. Now we need to select the hidden attributes and press the Move button. Right-click on the attribute and choose Unlock Selected. Let's test the Translate X limitation now. Works great. Let's repeat the process and add more attribute limitations.